Hi, I'm Dave Scott for HOKA, and I have a great question, a question that I've had for probably about 30 years now. I can run really fast, but I can't run fast in the Ironman. What the heck is going on? So I'm going to try to answer this, and I got a recent email from a 45-year-old female. She's done 8 Ironman races. Her fastest Ironman run is 4 hours and 11 minutes. Not terribly fast in comparison to what she's done in the fastest marathon, which is 3 hours and 3 minutes. So over an hour difference between the two. And I'm going to come back to this time at the end. We want to try to close that gap. With this skill of running 3 hours and 3 minutes, something is not right. And I'm going to add a couple ingredients as you build up to your final Ironman races here at the end of the season. So for most of you, and this particular woman has IRONMAN Kona because she's qualified. We've got about 8 to 12 weeks for our Ironman race, so a latter part of the fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, and those big races are right around the corner. So what can you do? I don't want to revamp your whole schedule, but how do we make the changes, and what are the changes? First off, reduce your long run to 90 minutes to 2 hours. Most people say, well, gee, that long run, that's the foundation of my entire program. And what happens on that long run is that when people just do it at a steady state, they're not really stimulating those fast twitch 2A muscle fibers, and they're not getting that neuromuscular transmission that says, okay, I can rev my engine up a little bit. In other words, if I can increase the strength component of my glutes and my quads and my calf, particularly my soleus muscle and the muscles in my feet, I might run faster, and that's actually true. But if I continue just to run longer, slower distance, I'm not going to get the benefit, particularly at the end of the year. So I'm going to say reduce the volume and add a higher intensity on that longer day of 90 minutes to 2 hours, and also add hills. So let's do the first one. Add higher intensity, and I gave a pretty simplistic example. If we're going to go 3 times 20 minutes, and obviously in 90 minutes we've got 2/3 of the workout, and the 2-hour workout we've got half of it at a higher intensity. And this should be about 5 to 8% below your lactate threshold. So again, a quick definition of this. For an experienced run, this is about an hour. What can you do in an hour when you're fresh, sustained workload, hard to very hard effort? So this is 5 to 8% below. And here's an example. If the lactate threshold is 7 minutes per mile, which is pretty close to this woman, then her sub-threshold in this range is around 7:15 to 7:30. That's not exactly right, but kind of in that range. So for example, if I'm doing 3 times 20 minutes, and let's say I did them all at 7:15 pace, I had an hour at 7:15 pace, that's pretty darn hard. So I like to kind of swing this back and forth. And you might have 2 or 3 minutes at 7:15, 2 or 3 minutes at 7:30, and you would space out these 3 times 20 minutes in that workout. So you do your normal warm-up, you do your first one. I would be a little more conservative on the first one, hedge towards the slower end of this. Cruise for 5 to 8 minutes, aerobic or even below that, and come back and do your second 20 minutes. Same idea, cruise in between, and then finish off your workout with a higher intensity effort again. This is a much more challenging workout, and you're going to really reap the benefit from doing this. And it's also going to teach you, even this last 8 to 12 weeks, how to conserve muscle glycogen. If you're just doing long, slow distance, you don't get that physiological benefit. So this is something that you do in your long run. Number 2 is that if you're not doing any kind of hill workout, start doing them right now. And you'll reap the benefit really, really quickly. The repeats ideally should be between 25 seconds to 90 seconds. Now if you don't have a hill that long, my suggestion is actually even run on the treadmill on your hill workouts. A lot of you have overpasses in your town. If you live here in Boulder, we've got lots of hills. The gradient should be between about 3 to 6% so you can maintain good form. Not real steep pitch ones like 8 to 12%. An example of this is to do 1 to 3 sets on one workout, or you could spread out this on 2. So for example, on set number 1, I like to integrate these different times. So I might do a 90-second repeat, jog back down the hill, take 15 seconds to a minute, and then do 3 times 25-second hill, jogging back down again, taking the recovery in between, and then finishing off with 2 times 1 minute. So you're having to vary your tempo a little bit, you're having to monitor that workload. And when you do a set like this, and let's say this particular woman can do 3 sets in one day, she would take 5 to 10 minutes between each of these sets, where she might jog slow aerobic come back to the hill, do set number 2, and here's an example, and then set number 3 is pretty easy, 4 times 40 seconds, at least easy to follow. So the cumulative total on this, on that hill set, for most of you, are going to reap the benefit anywhere between about 6 to 18 minutes of total hill rep time. Not a lot of uphill running, but wow, the benefit's magnificent. So your glutes are going to get a big workout, you're going to get a nice stretch to your gastroc and your soleus muscles in your lower legs, your foot's going to get worked hard, heart rate's going to come up, you're going to have to really work your upper body when you're doing this and make sure that you're keeping your core activated. I think the hill sets, as we get closer to the Ironman race, are really vital. Add those 2 things. Make sure on the bike that you're adding seated and standing segments. Don't just sit down all the time. Change that muscle recruitment pattern. Get out of your saddle, whether you're going up the hill, whether you're going on a flats, whether a truck goes by you. Get up out of your saddle. Make sure you're maintaining your strength work, and I put down 3 key areas: calves, calves, calves. Make sure you're doing eccentric loading on your calves. In other words, you're lowering down. That increases the muscle tension. Make sure you're keeping your glutes firing. Do single leg exercises for your glutes and also your mid-back. Now I'll just say one thing about the mid-back. Make sure you're stretching that thoracic spine, keep it nice and mobile. That's going to help you to run, because we want to get that run time off the bike between 18 to 35 minutes slower than that one. Alright, so do the math. 30 minutes puts you at 3 hours and 33 minutes. That's the goal that I have for my athletes. I like to have them come in this range, 18 to 35 minutes slower. Anecdotally, historically, I found that when my athletes are prepared well, that's what the goal should be as they go into their Ironman races. Okay, that was a lot. I hope that helps. Get ready for Ironman. I'm going to see a lot of you in Kona real soon. All the best to you.